Okay. I forgot to tell you in the last video on this structural plan here, first off the wall. This is where I've been putting in my sections for my truss profiles. And I had sections totally turned off so they weren't showing up, but I've turned them back on so you can see them here. And I've got three of them already created. Okay, so that I can put them in my drawing. So I'm going to walk you through how to create this last one. So on your structural first top of wall plan, let's create a new section. And I'm going to put it right across there. And I'm going to pull the view range down so it's kind of small. And go to view. Now I want to look here. Now I set up a view template that I'm going to be working with. Okay, because you're doing 4 different drawings, so it was easier to set up a profile, a view template for them. But you need to at least draw one of them first. Okay, and I'm going to show you what we're dealing with. So I want to get my view range set up. Uh, I'll leave that out for right now. Um, and what I had set on this, of course, it's grayed out right now. Probably best to go to manage truss profile. I'm setting them at 1/4 inch, normal, fine. Big things I'm after. You need to draw one first, or do your drawing, then apply these visibility graphics. Okay, but I turned off ceilings, turned off doors, generic models are turned off. Um, Roofs are turned off, but like I said, you need to build this thing first before you apply this. Equipment is turned off. Walls and windows are turned off. Okay, so this is for in the view template, and then of course the annotation categories. We're turning off levels, grids, reference planes, reference lines, and sections. So we're turning those things off. Okay, but now to draw one, I'm going to go to here and uh, we'll go to fine detail so that our stuff is picking up. What we're going to do is we're going to trace over this with detail lines so that because none of this stuff is showing up what we want. We want to show the actual truss itself. So I'm going to go detail lines, and I'm going with medium lines. Chain is fine. I'm going to go pick lines and turn on lock. Okay. Now what I want to pick is the top edge of the truss, the bottom edge of the truss, the outside edge of the truss. Okay. And I'm going to pick the top of the ceiling. And it's not letting me pick up the edge of the stud for whatever reason. All right, and so now I want to come over to this side and pick those same things over here. So it's not letting me pick those, so I'm gonna have to draw them. And so I drew one up on the outside edge of my stud wall there. And then I want to put in a rectangle up where the stud is, and I've been making these about 1'2" deep, as long as they're the same. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Now I'll come over here and do same thing over here. I'm going to draw a line from outside of the stud up to there. And then I'll put a rectangle in. I can't say, okay. Okay. And now then I can put in a detail component. And what I want is my nominal cut lumber 2x4. So I'm going to put in 2 of those. On both sides. That'll be the top plate for my wall. Uh, Now then, it's easier to trim this stuff if you go ahead and do all of your visibility graphics and set up this profile. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to it. And you can see what we got. And so now I'll do my trims. Okay, and there's my truss profile, the way it shows up on sheet number 4. Okay, and of course you're gonna, I've been renaming all of these right here. And also renaming my view so I know what it is when I'm looking at it in my browser. Okay, and so you'll also bring in the roof slope annotation 2334, pop that in, edit it, apply the text, do the dimensioning after you've done the sketching. Okay, because if you dimension to the things that you're going to hide, then your dimensions disappear. Now these end dimensions right here, you can't, excuse me, I had to draw this little line right here, and I used a detail, and I use this hidden line right here, so it makes it green. Okay, and then I dimension from the top of the plate to where the end of the line hits the top of the truss. Because truss profiles are just that. It's the truss itself and the wall studs themselves. And so your dimensions should come up just like on the drawings. This one came up a 1/16 of an inch different. And if you remember back when I said we were um, when we were working through building the roofs, that one in the back was a little wonky. Okay, and so that's what ended up that way. And when you place your dimensions, you'll want to kind of pull them around a little bit so that they can actually be read. Okay. Now then, trust, not C. B is the one here with the roof. And I ended up with a little bit of a discrepancy right in here with these two dimensions because of the way the gypboard ceiling lined up against this wall. Okay, so they'll if you've built your ceiling correctly, then this one should be correct. This one may be off a little bit, so draw the lines here to the correct size. Okay. The one change on this one, I pulled in a detail component of an LVL laminated veneer lumber, and it was a 1 3/4 by 16, I think. I I duplicated it, made it 36 inches tall, and put it in so that it represents a girder truss. Now, that's not exactly what they're going to be using, but I did a girder truss. And then I added a detail of a joist hanger. Now, you may not have this particular joist hanger. I didn't pull it from Revit. I pulled it from my downloads that I had. But look in the Revit library for a joist hanger and pop a joist hanger in there. Okay. And then we are on sheet 4. And I need to pull in the profile C. And then I want to center them up pretty much where all of the peaks, the roof peaks, are what's lined up. And um, oh, I thought there was a grid guide already set up. There we go. Okay, so I can pull that in and then use it to align all of my views. Okay. And we'll finish out the details on that sheet later on in the course. So that should get all of your drawing sheets ready that you need to turn in this week, I do believe. If you've got questions, shoot me an email. Come by and see us.